What's going on? It's your boy Ryan James, AFP MMA Beyond the Cage Door, where we get real people, real passion, and we talk about real fights. Today, I'm here with AFP Matchmaker and renowned MMA fighter in the cage, Kayla Kipp. How you doing, Kayla? Oh, Kayla just went off. She's going to come back on. Let's see. Kayla, are you there?
I'm back.
I lost you. I
I
was
don't know what
introducing,
happened.
I was introducing you to everything, and it was like, oh,
It
I'm like, well, she was there, but now she's gone.
the website started like searching and I was like, "What is going on?" We're good though now. I
All
think.
right. So, like I was letting everybody know, Kayla is an AFP matchmaker and an MMA fighter herself.
Yep.
Um, so Kayla, just start off with just letting everybody know a little bit about yourself first off.
All right. So I first am a mother of five. I have multiple jobs. Um,
Okay.
I went to college for a really long time. I went for nursing first, and then I went for criminal law. Internship at the city of Mansfield in the law director's office in probation, as well as working, alongside some of the probation officers in there. So that was a good learning experience. And then, I do the MMA as well. Not most people know that I, train. I kind of live like a pretty private life.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I am a go getter. I am very goal driven.
Right.
I like helping people, whether, it's the homeless or fighters, coaches, teams, things like that. So,
You were telling me last time we talked about, some things you do outside of the matchmaking, with some of the services you do, like you manage properties and stuff like that. And then you were telling me about how your heart works when it comes to other people. Even though you may do your job, how your heart still works and pours out to them about some of those things. So tell me about some of the community work you've participated in and stuff like that.
yeah. So, I mean, when it comes to the community, I feel like, if somebody reaches out to me and they want to know like the legal process of something, like
Yeah.
I could, be like, consult with an attorney.
Right, right.
Typically that's what people would do. But
Yeah.
if I've been through the process, I kind of try to tell them like what your options are. Even
Yeah.
when evicting people, on property side, it's all business. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, if I were to see somebody and say I had to remove them with the bailiff, I still ask how they're doing,
Yeah.
ask,
Yeah.
about things. It's just like having that caring heart is like something more people need. I'll help, help get them resources to help pay their rent in difficult times. My kids do community service as well. It's just giving back to the community is like one of the number one things that if you live in a community, how are you giving back?
That's
You know,
right. That's
it's
awesome.
already given to us. Give back
Yeah.
to the community as well. Hmm.
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about, you and AFP matchmaking. So I feel, we talk about like, do you feel you were thrown into matchmaking, your first matchmaking assignment? And tell me about that.
I don't feel like I was like thrown in the fire or anything like that.
Okay.
Um, but David came to me, being, knowing that I was in mixed martial arts and things like that, and kind of asked me if this was something that I would be up to doing. And to me, I wasn't finding a fight. I wasn't, you know, doing anything in MMA that I was like, you know what, let's learn the outside of the business.
Right, right.
Fighters don't understand that's what's going on. So it was a learning curve for me. To accept it was like easy for sure. But
Right.
once I got into the position, it was more difficult than I realized.
So, what were some of your biggest challenges you faced when you stepped into matchmaking? What, like, not too many warm ups? Like, what was once Dave put you in that position? to with the matchmaking? Like, what were some of the things you'll be like, oh my gosh, like I don't know, I don't know what to do. You know, what were some
Yeah.
of the things you were had?
So, like fighters will think that they can become a matchmaker because they know how to match records.
Right, right,
But it's not just that. We're talking age, we're talking background from things that you did in high school, from even our elementary days. I've done that from the type, like me, for instance, I've wrestled since I was 4. You know,
right.
it's like we care about to know those things to match our fighters against other people. And we want it to be a fair fight. We want it to match up. We want to be able to give each fighter an opportunity to, reconcile their record to
Right.
show how tough of an opponent they fought or comparable. You call matchmaking, but it's really like compatibility. You're finding the compatibility between two people, just like in a relationship,
Right, right.
you know, and making sure that it works for both of them. I mean, at the end of the day, they sign the contract, things like that. But I mean, you got medicals. I had no idea about the medical part. Like, I knew as a fighter, I had my blood work done. There's eye exams. You're drug tested. Sometimes during title fights, things like that. And it's just like when I got thrown into this, I had to cover everybody's medicals. And when I say everybody's, it's like rematching multiple cards. So you're doing multiple medicals on top of multiple medicals. And, some are getting denied. Some are, the commission is asking for more, because I didn't realize at the time, after you're the age of 35, you're old. Your
Right.
medical got more medicals, so
They're like school shot records.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, that was definitely something that I had to learn, and I had to submit them a certain way to the commission. It wasn't like snap a photo and send it to
Right,
them.
right, right.
This was professional emails. This was consulting with the athletic commission to get things approved, recommendations, like trying to get a fighter approved for a fight, showing that they've proved themselves to take this title fight or whatever it is.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's a lot into it, especially, when you're not only dealing with the fight, you're dealing with the coaches, you're dealing with the commission, you're dealing with the promoter. Just so much that, goes into it that they don't, a fighter would have never known,
yeah,
unless they were,
right, right.
I didn't know. And, I have a different respect for matchmakers.
Yeah,
Like, I completely have a different respect. Like, they're taking losses. They're taking
right.
losses too. They're matching up these people and sometimes it doesn't work out or somebody pulls out. That's our loss
Yeah,
too. Not just the
yeah.
fight coaches, not the promoter. It's our loss as well. All
And
that
I
hard work. Yep.
yeah, and that's a blow on you when that
Yep.
happens because it's somewhat of it's like that's your reputation,
Yeah.
and it's like so when people don't show up, it's just like you don't know how
Yeah.
hard I worked to get this make this happen. So speaking of promoters,
Yeah.
how did Dave Yaney's belief in you shape your confidence when you start matchmaking? What is that Dave saw in you that really kind of gave you that extra boost to say, well, you know what, if he believes in me, I think I can do this. What are some of the things that Dave showed you?
So David and I have known each other a really long time. He actually used to sponsor me as a fighter. And I'll tell you what, he sponsored me during one of my losses. Like, that's when
Mm,
I met him. I fought Anna Abrams. I went out
okay,
weight class, had a knee injury. No excuse, though. No
right,
excuse. I signed that contract at the end of the day, went 3 rounds with this girl, and it wasn't in my weight class. It is what it is. I took the fight. They're hard to find. And
yeah,
he was sitting outside in the crowd, and he knew Julian Lane, which was out of my gym, and he sponsored him.
right,
And I had met him, and he looked at me and he was like, "If you ever need anything," he was like, "I see potential in you." He's like, "That was a heck of a fight." He was like, he really encouraged me back then. And now, since we've been friends for so long, he believed in me to matchmake. I don't know what he was thinking, because I shed a lot of tears. I
right,
was, because I mean, he just believed in me. He
yeah,
he took somebody that, even though we take the losses, he still keeps believing,
right,
because he when you surround yourself with people that are goal driven individuals, you
true.
see, want to be goal driven yourself, you
That's
know
right.
And that's David. That is one thing, is every time he's hitting that next level, I'm like, man, I'm right there with him,
Right,
like
right. Yeah.
up. So he had a lot of faith in me putting me in this position, because ultimately at the end of the day, our first card was me matching that card. And if
Yeah.
I couldn't match it, this could have been the end of AFP.
Right.
If
Yeah.
I mean, if you lose out on your first one, like, you're done. Like, you're probably not
Yeah.
going to come, you know.
Right.
And all the difficulties that we had during our first, AFP 101, the
Right.
venue, like that, and
Hmm.
matching fighters. He never ever said, I don't think you can do this. Are you sure you
Right.
can do this? He just kept saying, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep
Just
going.
keep going.
We'll get through this.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And you gotta love that about Dave. He's the motivator that you'll be looking at like, wait, I'm thinking I'm letting you down, and
Yeah.
the whole time he's like, no, let's go. You got this. I
Yeah.
got you. Let's go, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go. It's like, and you're just sitting there like, you know what I mean? Talk about optimism. It's like he don't. You know what I mean? He's still like rooting and cheering on. Even when you hold your head down, he's still like, no, pick this up. Like, if I'm not holding my head down, I'm not going to, you're not going to do it. So, and I love that about him, you know,
Yep.
definitely that type of guy. So I want to talk a little bit about some of your people who help you, throughout this process of matchmaking. Michelle Crane,
Yes.
we talk about Nicole Castillo.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about your relationships with both of them.
They are like my moms.
Mhm.
Let's be
Right?
honest. Michelle, obviously, I had in the beginning. Um, she's what came onto AFP with me,
Hmm.
and she has been a guidance. She has been an influencer. She's right there along with David when it comes to really encouraging me and telling me how much I'm worth.
Right.
Telling me that, even if something doesn't work out, I got a way to work through it, though. You know,
Right.
and most people think that when something doesn't work out, that that's it. No,
Right.
we're
Right.
gonna work, is what we're gonna do.
Right.
So Michelle, I shed a lot of tears with her. She was so much help because obviously she already knew the athletic commission, and I was just getting to know them. So
Mhm.
I was like this fresh piece of meat, being taught all these things, and um, it was kind of difficult because a lot of people didn't trust the promotion because we're new.
Right.
And then you have to think, me being a matchmaker now, I used to be a fighter, and my connections kind of were different because
Got
I
it.
knew them personally. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just message the fighters personally. Well, that's not how it usually works. You go through most coaches before you go through a fighter, out of
Right.
respect. And so that was a learning curve for me that Michelle really taught me, and Nicole did too. Um, and I have the most respect for both of them. Nicole is, as I call, the GOAT, the greatest of
Yeah.
all time
Yeah.
matchmaker. We're
Yes.
a female that literally had to find her place. Like, she had a place, but she had to literally, like, how would I put this? She had a place, but nobody gave her that place. So she had to earn that place.
Right. Right.
And, following in her footsteps, is like, it's amazing because she's smart. She knows the rules and regulations. She knows fighters off the top of her head. She ain't got to look nothing up. I mean, she knows these guys personally from their families, and like that's really driven me to be more involved into, these fighters as well, checking up on them, seeing how they're doing, fight camps, weight loss, um, just kind of staying involved and really, like, at the beginning when I had Michelle and then I had Nicole, kind of, gave me this line of, so, like, what do you think about matchmaking, now? And
Right. Right.
I rather fight. Like,
Yeah.
I rather fight. It was, and she's like, you're gonna go through these, you're gonna rematch cards, you're gonna do this type of work. This is what it's all about. And I was like, I see you, Nicole.
Right. 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 So as I'm listening as you talk, and you talk about Nicole and Michelle,
Yeah.
matchmaking and their history.
Yeah.
Do you think the profession of MMA or any of the combat sports matchmaking, do you think that women are starting to really make a name and pull through on the matchmaking side of that?
Um, how I think that it's not about the dynamics of gender.
Okay.
I think back then, back when I wrestled, I was the only female
Right.
wrestler in the state of
Hmm.
Ohio. We're
Yeah.
talking 94.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
getting the respect on the mat is no different than what Nicole had to go through getting the respect from everybody on the MMA side. I think now she's given female matchmakers that respect, and we don't have to earn it now.
I
She's
love
our
it.
Yeah.
Open the door.
She opened the door. She was like, bam, bam, bam.
Like we could do this too.
Yeah, yeah,
I love it. I love it. So, your many hats you wear at AFP. People know
yeah,
you as a matchmaker, and
yeah.
your role goes far beyond that. How do you balance your creative side um, with all the other things you do with AFP, with some of the help with promotions, the videos, and the logistics of when the event is going down? Like, how do you, okay, because you're matchmaking. Matchmaking got a whole category, what you're doing, but how do you balance those other hats?
Honestly, with the help of Michelle and Nicole, I
Mhm.
mean, they really, we all balance it together as a
Yes.
team.
Yeah.
And the whole AFP team on the day of the event, we're all balancing everything together. But ultimately, from the start, we're matching.
Right.
We're figuring out this card and everything like that. And then when it comes up to, like posters, we do have a poster lady for that. But I do some of the extra posters and
Mhm.
videos for the social media pages.
Got
I'll
it.
do extra stuff for fighters too.
Yeah.
I mean, I like doing it. So, I'll take a couple of their pictures and I'll send it to them, and that's their advertisement.
There you
Um,
go.
yeah, and actually right now I'm about to do some gym AOA all out assault. I'm about to do some shirts and hoodies for them for their next event. Um
Nice.
yeah, so but for AFP really, man, I just get it done. It's kind of like
Yeah.
I go handle all the EMS, the police officers, the ring girls, the DJ, making sure everybody's in place, getting the commission
Right.
where they need to be, during medicals, making sure there are certain areas. Um, just kind of making sure that the event runs organized without any problems that lead back up to the promoter. The promoter is to sit there and not hear about this stuff or
That's
any
right.
ups until a week after our fight when he's ready.
That's right. I
Yep.
love it. I love it. So,
You need me, whatever, I'll be it.
right, right, right. So we talk about, let's talk about you and the heart of the job you do. You said this job takes more time and energy than people realize, right? What keeps you motivated through your long hours and through all the pressure of these putting these productions together? What keeps you, Kayla Kipp, motivated doing this job? Like what makes you go every day?
A lot of people would say their
Okay.
kids, and I have every reason, to keep going and keep pushing for my
Right.
kids. Well, ultimately, at the end of the day, MMA is my love,
Yes.
my love for MMA. And, you know, a lot of people thinking that I hung it up because they didn't know what I was doing, or, if I was fighting ever
Right.
again. But staying actively into MMA has really pushed me to keep going and keep going and keep going. I mean, everybody has that person, or something that kept them going, but really I kept myself
Right.
going. I didn't my spouse now, wasn't like, why don't you get back into
Right.
MMA? No, I was getting into matchmaking. So like everybody around me supports me,
Right.
and doesn't want me to give up. There's nights I'm working till like 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, searching up fighters and messaging them because of different time zones and things like that. Or sometimes I don't even realize how late I'm actually working. And My spouse, just sitting over there, and he's like, he could get upset, or bringing home work home all the
Yeah.
time, from the rental side,
Right.
from everything, and really, like, everybody keeps me going. You keep me
Yeah.
going by even giving me opportunity. David keeps me going by having faith in me and saying, I'm going to have you as my point person. I'm going to have you, handling this. I appreciate you, Nicole, even working with
Yeah.
me. Nicole,
Yeah.
the go of matchmaking, actually working alongside of me when everyone thought that we would never work
Right.
out. Like, I got her next to me saying, this is actually working. This is good. I like this.
Yeah. We can do
Like, I
this.
don't like females, but I like you.
So
Like,
I don't like
you know,
females, but I like you.
yeah. Like, everyone thought that, like, when you get two matchmakers together that are females, like, we're gonna be
Like
two cats
what?
in a bag or
Yeah.
something. All snuggly up next to each other, and we're like, hey, I got this fighter. Hey, I got that fighter. You know, like, me and her are like a duo
I
together.
love it.
That's just like we. I don't know. I don't even know. It's like we're back to back and just
Getting it
doing it.
done.
We just do.
I love
Yeah.
it.
So
So talking
yeah,
about the team culture, and as we get ready to
yeah,
wrap up at AFP, you described it at AFP as a team where everyone is at the top of their game. What makes this
yep.
group so special?
Our group is a small
Yep.
group, and each one of us are important. And David makes sure that we all know
Yeah.
that we all handle our business, and we get it done.
Right.
Like, I mean, we got our lighting guy, our cage setup
Mhm.
crew. They're the ones that come in, before anybody, and they get that whole venue set
Right.
up. You know, and from that, you got everything else that comes
Yeah.
behind it, and it's like each one of us execute what it needs to be
That's
done.
right.
And when we come together before and after our events and make sure that everything is in place. And when I say that we are such a team, David made us the
Right.
team. He asked us. He asked us. I don't know why I can't say that right. He comes to
Yeah.
us, and you know when we're making decisions, he doesn't just make the decisions. He goes to the
That's
team,
right.
and that's what I feel like. We're all family, and most promotions don't have that.
Right.
Most I mean, we're not a blood
Right.
family or anything like that, but we feel enough that, like, if somebody broke down on I-71, you know, we're sending somebody to come get you and make sure you get where you need to
That's
be.
right.
Make sure you're safe.
Yeah.
We're gonna turn on our hat. We're gonna, make sure you're okay.
Exactly.
But
I love it.
you don't feels like that.
That's right. And that's the one thing I myself love about this AFP team and just everybody and Dave. And it's just always so welcome and everything that everybody does. And it's just uh, from Michelle to you, everybody just like when I'm there because everybody know when I'll be there, I'm like, I'm on a mission. Like Ryan's doing something. Whatever Ryan's asking for, get the table, he go like because I'm just looking at myself, everybody be so busy. So it was so funny
Yeah.
because when I came and I did the live stream at the last one, I actually went out of my way and I brought my own Wi-Fi thing because I'm like, I know how crazy everybody is. I don't because and it's funny because I know when I ask for stuff, you know how you got the leeway of like you ask somebody, be like, oh, let me take care of that. I know when I'm
Yeah.
asking people for stuff, I have this 10 to 15-minute waiting period. Because somebody's like, wait,
Yeah.
let me call this person. Let me call this person. And I'll be like, oh, it's fine. I know because everybody's got 10 things they're doing. And I
Yeah.
just came in and added 11. So,
You could have came and found
yeah,
me, and I mean, Eddie Saunders will come in, and he needs something. I'll be like, here, take my phone. It's all on there. I will hand that guy my phone, and I will walk away and go handle business, and then he'll come find me and give me my phone back. Like,
Eddie is so cool because I've never seen a person
yeah,
so locked in. And like it was crazy because he before the fight happened, we came in and he was over there getting dressed, and he was just real cool and nonchalant and just talking crap. And I'm just and somebody didn't know, like, because they didn't know his personality outside of that ring, and they
right.
were like, That's the same dude.
Yeah,
That was just throwback. I'm like, man, no, that's how locked in he is. Like when he get in that ring, it's showtime,
yeah.
and that's what I love it, man.
That that age changes you entirely. Anybody that steps in
Yeah,
there, it's like you're yeah.
you get to yell it. Last thing I want to ask you about. Tell me how important David Yaney as just the entrepreneur CEO he is to this AFP movement, to just all the things he does as a business person. Just tell me how important Dave Yaney is to you.
David's who makes it all
Yeah,
happen. He he's he's so
yeah,
kind. You know, if you, to know Dave Yaney is one of one of the best people to have in your
right,
life. You know, we've spoke before, about, having these people in our lives, and it's just like, you surround yourself with these people, you know, you start to act like them, or this vice versa and things like that. I mean, everybody has different personalities, but having Dave in your life is like, having the encouragement to be the best version of yourself. He's willing to go out on that limb. He's always there when you need him. Communication wise, he's communicating with these fighters as
right.
well. Actively involved. Ultimately, at the end of the day, he wants the best
Yeah,
for them. It ain't about him,
right.
you know. He isn't. It isn't about him. I mean, he wants to put on the best fights that are possible for each and every fighter, and ensure that they get the best out of it, whether they're a pro or they're an AME. We no differently. They're all fighters. We would never want them to feel like they were any less or any more. And with this whole dazzling boom
Yeah, yeah.
bam sparks, all that Dave wanted, he wanted that for his
That's right.
fighters. He wanted to feel that environment, you know, have the best feeling walking out to the cage, because me old school, I'm walking on a gym floor, cold,
Yeah, yeah,
barefoot, you know, on, no
yeah.
funky red, blue, or red. I didn't have that, at my fights. It was just kind of like you get in a cage and
Let's
you're
go.
banging,
Yeah,
Yeah, like it's like a little UFC.
exactly.
Going into this promotion, it really feels good to be a part of it, because, you know, I wish I could be a part of that.
Right.
Right now, walking down there with the guys, it's just like you can just feel the difference in their walkouts.
Yes.
Have flames, that good music.
Yeah.
It's collaborates with the lighting and everything like that, and it's just like it really feels good. It makes you feel like even more important.
Exactly. And I love it, and I love it. And the last thing I got for you is when are you getting back in the ring?
Oh, no, I don't tell my secret.
Uh, oh gosh.
So I'm
Hmm.
35, and we're considered old, masters, whatever. Um, but I got the heart literally of a
Yeah.
20-year-old. I'm going into the gym, and it feels like I never
Right.
left.
Right.
Like I'm doing 5-minute rounds, and I never
No.
left. And MMA has always been with me, and I say it to this day. When my title belt's sitting at my house, for atom weight, I'm like, I still gotta fight. I still have that fight in me. I ain't never gonna stop. I'm not. Give me an opportunity. Like, somebody find me an atom weight and make
Let's
it
make it
happen.
happen.
But right now, me being licensed under AFP, I'm kind of focused on getting the promotion going. And just being a part of it has been a great experience. But you never know what 2026 has in
You
store.
never know what 2026 got in store. And on
Yep.
that note, Kayla, thank you for coming on AFP MMA Beyond the Cage Door, letting us know your story. Any of the great matches, her, Michelle, and Nicole are the ones that put these great things together. The great team that put these great fights together for the AFP fight. So our next one is where at, Kayla?
Newark,
New York.
Ohio. Cherry Valley. Hell.
Yes. I love the fact that it's in a hotel. Yeah, I've already
Yeah.
checked the site. I'm like, let me hurry up and get me a room. Like, 'cause that's the less traveling I gotta do. Let me get it.
You know, I actually drive down to every weigh in back and forth. I don't stay in the hotels. I actually make the drive every single night before the fights.
Wow.
Yep. So sometimes Toledo's like a 2 hour drive. So I got a 2 hour drive there, 2 hour drive back. The next morning, 2 hour drive there, 2 hour drive back.
You like to clear your head.
Sometimes, yeah, I like I'm a homebody. I'm a homebody.
You know, yeah, whole body. I like that. I like that. Kayla, thank you for coming on the podcast and just letting everybody know a little bit about your role and everything you do. Uh, much
Yeah.
continues to set success to you and the AFP team and everything that we're doing. You know, I'm glad to say I'm on this call with an AFP family member myself. You know, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love everything that's been going on, and this thing is going to keep going to the top. And hey, you know, I'm glad to be on the right train, and glad to have great people like you. You know, what I mean, supporting me, and I can support you through everything we do.
Yep. That's all
You
it's
know
about.
it. Thanks for coming on, Kayla, and I will talk to you
Yeah.
later. And we are good. All
All
right, talk
right.
to you later. Bye.
Yeah.